Panyaza Lesufi has been elected chairperson of the ANC in Gauteng. He received 575 votes, while his opponent Lebogang Maile got 543. Well ahead of the conference, former Gauteng Premier Mbhazima Shilowa warned that the ANC should focus on broader collective capable of galvanizing the electorate in the run-up to the 2024 elections. The party was due to give a briefing on the outcomes of that conference at 2 o'clock this afternoon, but we're reading now that that's now been postponed. Let's speak to Mbhazima Shilowa about the outcomes of conference. A very good afternoon to you, sir. Good to have you on the program. I guess no one better placed than someone who was in the ANC in Gauteng to talk about this. So what you were saying is basically mirrored by what Gauteng Mandashe then said on Friday, where he said conference needed to focus on more substantive issues and not just the election of individuals. But they don't seem to have done that, do they?
Not at all, because I guess for some of the individuals, even if it's not necessarily the two contenders, there was a lot at stake. You could see that, voting only happened late on Sunday, and that even then, the whole PEC have not been elected. They've just been nominations, because the whole issue of credentials and everything took too long, and you really wouldn't know what is it about the credentials that can take that long. But of course, everywhere where credentials become an issue, you know that there's also high contestation, because credentials is just a fancy word for the number of people present at the conference and who are supposed to be there.
And when you look at the outcomes of the race itself, Panyaza Lesufi elected as chairperson of the ANC in Gauteng by a slim margin. Is he then the right person? Does he have what it takes to achieve the objective which has been set out from National, which is A, to not lose the elections in 2024 in Gauteng, and then B, make sure that the ANC is able to win back outright control, a majority in the metros, Ekurhuleni, Johannesburg and Tshwane in the local government elections?
I wouldn't know, because I don't know the intricacies of how each of the two individuals are stronger. But for me, what they have to concentrate on is, now that they have that elected leadership, 3 of whom came from Panyaza slate, 2 from Lebogang slate, is to ensure that each of those slates bring on board their own people to first and foremost pull the membership together, pull each and every cadre on the ground to want to work for the success of a strong, unified ANC. Because if all of them pull together, they're more likely to also go back into their own communities and say, it doesn't matter who wanted to be leader, but we think that the collective that is there will be better able to lead us come the provincial elections. If they don't do that, they can kiss the province goodbye. Like I did say to both Lebogang and to Panyaza, that, what is staring them in the eye is that, number one, either the province will prosper as the ANC and they will retain governance, or it will become more disjointed and they will lose the province. And that is going to depend, one, on the outcome, but secondly, now that Panyaza has been elected chair, how together with the provincial secretary, they pull the entirety of the collective and the PEC to work together.
And the fact that A, the top 5 that's been elected is mixed, and B, the narrow margins between many of the people now elected, does that show healthy contestation, or does it show that it's a relationship that may in fact become trickier to manage if they want to be a useful collective, not just to the party, but the people of the province?
Now, I think if you look at the numbers, even though on one of them it is just 1 vote, but generally, if you look at them, the most is 30 votes that separate them. which means that there was a conscious decision by most of the delegates to say, we want so-and-so from this slate for chair, but we feel strongly about accommodating the other one. So I think it was a healthy contest if they all take it well, and that it may mean that each one can bring their constituencies on board, because if all of the people that were supporting Lebogang are content in the fact that the secretary and deputy come from their side, they can't just pull together in working with the secretariat. They've got to pull together in working with the entirety of the collective. And that's what I hope for. That's what I guess those who support the ANC, either as members or voters, are hoping for. If not, they need to always think not of how strong the ANC is going to be, of whether or not they're going to be able to retain the province. Forget about the metros. That is 3-4 years down the line. In 2 years' time, they're going to go into an election. If they lose that one, there's no way in which they're going to get the metros back.
What about then the issue of the quarantined votes from Ekurhuleni specifically? Quarantined, yes, but the delegates were still able to participate in conference. Do the narrow margins of victory then make it a bigger possibility that it's something that will be taken further and perhaps even taint the outcome of the conference? Or do you think it'll be settled rather peacefully?
In fact, I was surprised that this 19 quarantine vote, National wanted to settle this matter. This is a matter which should have been given to the province right from the word go, immediately at the conference to settle. And I think by the time they went to that particular conference, they would have been able to go there to say, did these branches have a proper BGM? Yes. Did they nominate delegates? Yes. Are the people who are going to the Congress the right delegates? No. Can we get the right ones? And it would have been that. So obviously the fact that they are quarantined means that insofar as the gap is smaller, it can still change. But I don't think it will change because Lebogang then believe that these votes are theirs. 19 won't change in terms of Lesufi. They won't change in terms of the secretary. And I think even if they go more to Tasmin in terms of the deputy, they're not going to change much unless maybe in the situation of the treasurer.
Mbhazima Shilowa, thank you very much for speaking to us as always. Thank you.